Hi everyone, it's Kasia from Tarot Map. Today I'm going to do a VR to 78 Puertas and also to Masha and also to Honey Lou. They have both done the VR to 78 Puertas and I think it's Oscar. And I love those videos. So let's just move on with it. There's a lot of questions. It's a community challenge. So if anybody feels inspired, join in. But we're going to be talking about decks. And I mean decks, like I need a cleaner after that, as usual. All right, let's start. So these are the prompts that 78 Puertas, I'm going to link the video below, included. So first question, what was your very first tarot deck ever? And for me, if you've watched my videos, you may have known this, but this was the Kazanlar Tarot. The story goes that I was studying German at university, and it was 1998. I think the communism fell about 1990. They opened our borders and I could freely travel. Firstly, I went to Italy with my high school, and then during the second year of uni, or after the second year of uni, I took a year off and I went to Germany and I lived there for a year, and they had amazing bookshops that we in Poland didn't have at that time. And yep, esoteric sections, that's, you know, where you could find me. I don't know why, there's no explanation for it, rather than maybe past lives, who the fuck knows. But Kazanlar Tarot in German, it was purchased by myself in Cologne, where I lived. And yeah, it's beautiful. And I remember why I chose it, because there was a lot of tarot decks there, you know, on offer. I could have picked different one, but I remember looking at it, at being a tropical Sagittarius. I always loved different religions and spirituality systems, and this one was a conglomeration of four. There was ancient Egypt, there was Islam, like Arabic tradition, and there was Christianity, and there was also what else? Anything else? Christianity, and Hinduism, yes, and Hinduism. So that's what made me buy this deck. But this is my very, very first deck, Kazanlar Tarot. It also probably will be one of the decks that it's mostly worn out. 1998, babies. Makes me vintage right now, right? All right, what is your most recent tarot deck? And if you have been following me for my most recent tarot decks, I would have to show tarot decks, not a deck, but from my dear friend Victoria, whom I'm forever grateful for, or two. I received a parcel with 7 Carol Herzer's decks, and I'm just going to show one. So this is the Emerald Heart, which now is called Heart and Soul Tarot from Carol Herzer. But oh, I love these decks. So yeah, my recent 7 decks arrived all at once, and well, I believe it's destiny. Thank you so much, Victoria. I'm so happy. I know that you know how I feel, because you'd be feeling exactly the same receiving a parcel of 7 Carol Herzer's decks that you don't have. Which tarot deck has the best colors? Oh, I know that, like, Natalia from Tarot Shrink, she'd be pissed off if I kept showing Carol Herzer's decks only. So to do justice, my shelves are full of tarot. I will show one Carol Herzer deck. Carol Herzer's decks are amazing when it comes to color. She is a master of color. But this Snow Starlight, I just love the combo of colors, the quality of quietude, and the color popping up as accents. This one just like has great coloring to me. But I love color. I'm a girl of color. Color is something that inspires me, and I chose 2 more decks that I think are really beautiful in usage of color. So one is the Painted Tarot by Sophie McKnight, and this deck is a burst of color. So if you don't know it, she's a Scottish artist, and Only the kings are black and white, but every other card in this deck is full of amazing, colorful imagery, very vibrant, very alive, very beautiful. I love this deck. So yeah, this one is amazing as the use of color. Even the bags are so cool. Actually, this could be one of my favorite bags ever. I love these bags. So there is a question about tarot bags, and I think this one also could be there. So the Painted Tarot by Sophie McKnight, and also, you know, the old printing of Granatea, Egyptian Gypsies Tarot. This deck, it's from 69, I believe, and it's printed by Grimaud. But the colors in this deck, and if you watched my videos again, you might have heard it, but the pictures, like just the quality of printing and the colors in this deck are out of this world. Like, they're so beautiful, just the little peach shades, like the pinks and peaches, and just this amazing, beautiful, sharp, crisp, fresh colors. Greens are amazing, but yeah, the faces are amazing. I love how this is printed. So color wise, this one would definitely, like, look at this pinks, and so good. It's so beautiful. And it's, yeah, it's so old now, but the printing is just incredible. So yeah, this one is definitely along the Painted Tarot and Carol Herzer's decks in the category of the best colors deck. So which tarot deck has the best faces? Tarot deck that has the best faces. Well, I love my Doddle, okay? So I think from Jeanne Doddle, I love the faces. I love how the people are portrayed. I love those big eyes, as you know. So Doddle is definitely out there. I also picked Tarocchi 23 because I love the faces. They are a little bit dolly, but in general, the postures and the faces of the humans are really, really cool, expressive. They all a little bit Four of Cups, kind of whatever. But yeah, I really love them. They make me just smile. So this is Tarocchi 23 by Midnight Tarot. I love this deck. It's really cool. There is another one that I thought the faces are very beautiful, is this Il Meneghello Italian tarot deck, and this one is called Tarocco Neoclassico, and it has also beautiful, like just this very artistic, you know, kind of old feel faces. Also beautiful printing, beautiful execution of this deck. I love this one as well, and yeah, I love those sharp edges and corners. All right, so these are very beautiful faces. What else do we have then? Which is your largest tarot deck? So I know that a lot of people showed this Alchemical Visions tarot because it's bloody hell huge. So these cards would be probably like the largest that I have in a deck of cards. Like, they're huge. But then I also wanted to show you Tarocchi dei Visconti from Il Meneghello. This one I received from Natalia a couple of years back. They also really big, of course not that wide, but really big cards and beautiful printing of Visconti deck. So these are quite huge. And then another one is this Nature Spirit Tarot, where the cards are also humongous, and they really like beautifully printed, lovely colors as well, nice bags. And these ones are also very, very big, but they shuffle well. I also can shuffle with no problem that Alchemical Visions Tarot, no problem for me at all. I like big decks. So these cards are huge in these three decks. So I guess alchemical visions would still win though. That's really big. All right, a bit of space. So which is your smallest tarot deck? So right now I think it would be this Carol Hazer's deck. It's original illuminated, doesn't have any glitter or anything, but it's just gorgeous printing. It's sharp, it's fresh, it's laminated. I love taking it into, you know, nature, into my bag. It's very small. It fits nicely in the hand. You can make large spreads with it too. So it's one of those decks that I actually use quite often. All right, let's go. 7, question number 7. What tarot deck has the best court cards? Okay, I actually love when the court cards, I love the historical court cards, but I'm a bit bored with them, to be honest. So I love when the court cards come up with, you know, different hierarchy. So I love the Circle of Doors tarot court card. So first of all, they're using Maiden, Mother, Maga and Crone, which I love. I understand that maybe for guys it's a bit like get on, like we want guys in the deck, right? But this is very so feminine perspective. But I love this one as a woman, and it's like Maiden. You get like Seeker. For example, Keys are wands. Mother of Keys is a teacher. So I love when they add just like archetypes to the court cards. They not only like people, but they also could be stages, you know, of evolution. Maga of Keys as a rebel. And then the Crown of Keys is a visionary. So I love these court cards. Like the Maiden of Knives, she's the Swords, Page of Swords, Mother of Knives, it's the Knight, then Maga would be a Queen and Crown would be a King. And I love this Crown of Knives as a scholar and with astrological chart. That's so cool. So these are my favorite court cards right now from a Circle of Doors tarot, which is really stunning, and so happy I have it. But I also love these court cards from Cosmosis tarot, which is this deck. I don't know how many of you have it, but the court cards are really smart. So here they use like little arrows. So facing the past, starting with the page is skill. So here is just like stages of evolution, and I love what they did. So this is skill for Page of Earth. Knight will be facing the future is productivity, and you can see like this guy here with a little plant, and this is earth signs. Maturity for the woman, so the Queen facing down, the arrow, and then for the King, prosperity. So they actually skipped this traditional naming. I love this Page of Air with curiosity. It's very cool. I have a review of this deck, so you can check all the cards. I think this deck is really smart. Impulse for the Knight of Air. Discernment for the Queen. And intelligence for the King. I really like it. So this would be my favorite court cards. And the next question is 8. Which is your most worn out tarot deck? So Kazanlar Tarot, my first deck, is really worn out, but you know, it's very old. It comes from 1998 and I've used it a lot. I remember I gifted it once to a friend, and then she gave it back to me with 2 cards missing, and somebody from tarot community sent me these 2 cards, which you can see is a different different vibe. But yeah, I've used this deck a lot and for a long time, and I found another 2 decks that, you know, might dawdle, even though it might not look it, but yeah, it's just kind of, it's been to many places, and I like taking my decks out. So Doddle was used a lot before, and also I've done a lot of readings with this Druidcraft Tarot, which I then chopped and colored, but you can see in the bags when I started doing readings, I used this deck, Druidcraft Tarot. And also my Mysteries of Mary tarot deck and Mysteries of the Black Madonna, they also pretty worn out, because I took this deck to so many places. So this one holds pretty well because, you know, I don't riffle shuffle them and so on, but it's been to many sacred places with me. Same with the Black Madonna. Black Madonna was like wet by a storm, of course, for the Black Madonna deck. It got caught up in a storm. It got a little bit wet, but nothing major happened to it. I put it in a little bag, but yeah, I edged it. And Black Madonna Tarot by Hetty and Grobler, my very, very special decks. All right, so these will be the most worn out. 9, which is your most esoteric tarot deck? You know, I would definitely have to go with Thoth, or with Tarot of the Holy Light, or even with the Alchemical Visions Tarot, because it also has a lot of esoteric symbolism in it. But Tarot of the Holy Light comes to mind because it also has a great book, and Christine Payne Towler, she goes really deeply into the symbolism, and I love the artwork as well. And it's just like a little bit different take to Golden Dawn Association, so that's really interesting as well. And yeah, I haven't studied it properly, but a time will come, because I really love the write-up in the book for this deck. So most esoteric. Now, what tarot deck is the best for shadow work? To be honest, I do shadow work with any deck, but I love this type of soft deck. So I would go with Cozy Witch Tarot or Playful Heart Tarot, which is really beautiful. Maybe with Polarity Wellness Tarot. Let me just, I'm not going to grab these decks, but okay, I'm going to grab the decks. Wait. I'm back. So Polarity Wellness Tarot, I think would be great for shadow work, because first of all, it's a somatic deck. So it also points you back to where in your body you can maybe store blockages. And it has like just an interesting take, you know, with movement and embodying the message of the deck. So this one is like a very weird but very cool deck that I think for shadow work, embodying and feeling safe in the body is like really important. I think the Playful Heart Tarot, it's also great, especially with the book, because the book is just amazing. So it's playful, it's fun, it's really kind of can allow you maybe to accept the messages that the cards are showing. And other than that, Rider with Smith or whatever deck you kind of don't resist so much, or maybe sometimes even don't know so well, might be a good one too. What tarot deck has the best backs design? So I mentioned that painted tarot. I think it's a really great one. I love also just in general how greatly this is like printed for a deck. I love the feel of it. It's silky, it's smooth, it shuffles well. I love those golden backs. So Crimson Asteria Tarot with this red edging, it's amazing, really great. So I love these ones. What tarot deck has the best cardstock? I love this one. It's really cool. But I love Magical Nature Tarot cardstock. It feels like it's so light. It makes this really nice sound. It's made from plants. It's eco-friendly. It uses natural paint and inks. Love it. This cardstock is amazing. So if you haven't tried it yet, you should. It's really great, and it's light. I don't have cartograms deck, but Honey Lou said it kind of feels similar in shuffling to hand-produced cartogram deck. So Magical Nature Tarot, great cardstock. What tarot deck, so that's number 13 now, what tarot deck has the best soft silky touch? Well, quite a few, like Crimson Asteria is really great, but Oracle Door, so this is not a tarot but per se, but it has this, I think like the Witch's Tarot, also by Burning Paper Hearts, has nice silky soft touch, and this Oracle Door also has this really smooth, soft silkiness, and I love those golden accents as well. So not a tarot, but like Crimson Asteria was, yes, just love this deck, so well done. Number 14, what tarot deck has the best sound when you shuffle it? So yeah, back to Magical Nature. I love shuffling the Mysteries of Mary, the old stock, not the new one so much, but the old one, and Spolia Tarot. Let me just grab it. So Spolia deck has like this really nice, it just has this nice kind of so I love when there is a little bit of texture and when the cards make this noise. So Spolia shuffles great. I love it. It always has, and it actually, yeah, one of those decks when I just look at it and I'm just going, oh, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I know it's, sorry guys, it's so out of print and it sells for like crazy prices, but it is a gorgeous deck. It's gorgeous. I don't use it very often right now, but I used to read with it, and it has a really cool book by Jessa Crispin as well. I like the little white book, but yeah, it's a very, very cool deck. So this shuffles nice and this shuffles great. Which of your tarot decks is the most misunderstood? I think in general, what I feel is misunderstood a lot is Tarot de Marseille. I think people are, you know, kind of maybe bored or not understanding how amazing this particular tarot system or tarot of, you know, imagery opens your intuition to readings and your imagination to flow, and how amazingly these cards, especially in the traditional decks, flow through one another. If you guys like this kind of seeing the Tarot de Marseille cards of Major Arcana, in my Tarot de Marseille class, I actually lead you through each one of the cards and I share examples of how they go through one into another, and it's like a fool's journey, but I give a lot of information about the cards. So the class is like $33. You can get it. It's not only just like for learning Tarot de Marseille general, it's a good class, I think, for learning tarot. So if you're interested, you can take a look. So I think Tarot de Marseille is quite misunderstood, and I agree with Honey Lou actually that Tough Tarot deck is very misunderstood. It's a gorgeous deck, it's wonderful. It doesn't equal Aleister Crowley, and Frida Harris painted it, right? It's amazing. And also Aleister Crowley, I think, to be honest and fair, it was also very misunderstood. So yeah, I really liked what Honey Lou said, so go and watch her video for how she expressed it. I think that's also misunderstood. Question number 16. Which is your most ancient tarot deck or the most historical? So the most ancient is the deck that also answers the question, which tarot deck has the best purchase story? So this is a deck that I found in a thrift shop in Poland, like squeezed in the like toys section for kids, and I pulled it out and I thought, oh, what is this? You know, there was no name on the box. That's exactly how it looked. And I thought, oh, what is this deck? It's a strange looking deck. It came out with this tiny little, very kind of old looking booklet. It says copyright 1935. Each price 2 pence. It, you know, it's fascinating. It's very old. It actually comes from that year. It came with every card was there. These are the original bags. Now you can buy, it's Thomson Leng Tarot, Thomson Leng. You can buy this deck now. I saw with other bags, like a brownish bags, and that's not the original bags. This is the original bags. But yeah, it's like a mix of Rider-Waite-Smith and Balbi Tarot, who's done that? Okay, like now I blanked now, but the other way of like assigning numerology and elements to the deck, when the air is water, but the swords is water and the cups is air. So yeah, it's just interesting, very different, like Spanish kind of based on Spanish decks. That I like forgot this Pizarro, what's his name? Anyway, I will maybe attach this information. Other than that, maybe somebody will know and can put it down in the comments. But Thompson Lang, this was a deck that I found in the second-hand shop in a thrift section for the toys for kids. It's complete. I paid 1 zloty for it, which is like, I don't know, 10 cents or something like crazy. And this deck, it's a vintage, true original. They used to attach it to magazines from what I read. And the story continued because, when I got home from this thrift shop, bought this deck, I'm thinking, what is it? Like, how do you find the name of the deck? So I started putting in like 2 pence, fortune, like anything I can into Google. And finally I found something and I checked, and that's exactly the deck that I bought and I found. Amazing find, cool story. I've got a lot of stories with different decks, but let's just stick to this one. So number 17, which tarot deck was the most surprising, for good or for bad? I think this was such a great surprise for me, the tarot deck, Cozy Witch tarot deck. I thought it's going to be just like cute, even though it's not really my type of artwork. But when I saw it online, it didn't disturb me. I quite liked the kind of sentences that I saw. But actually this deck turned into the best like self-care deck, really great reader, good advisor, a great kind of soothing presence. I think this deck is great. And it surprised me a lot that something that I kind of thought would be like superficial, it's actually really deep and beautiful and healing. All right, so number 18, which tarot deck has the best purchase story? We answered this question with the Thompson Lang deck. What tarot deck do you always use for self-readings? I love Margaret Peterson tarot deck. I use it a lot for self-readings. This is like one of the best tarot books out there. It's a great deck. I love it. The book makes it as well. It's the full set for me. It's just amazing. Love it. I also love using Dark Goddess Tarot with the book as well from Ellen Lorenzi Prince. Such a great deck to read for oneself. Just for my clients, Sedna story comes up very often. Sedna is an asteroid also in the skies, and right now Sedna has changed signs into, like, she went from Taurus to Gemini, tropical Gemini. So it's interesting that, like Jupiter moves into Gemini, Sedna moves into Gemini, words are spells. And I actually sent out a quite interesting, in my opinion, newsletter where I write a little bit more about this. So if you want to sign up for my newsletters, please do so below. Just go to my website, scroll down to the bottom and you can sign up. And so, okay, self-reading also, Carol Heather all the way. I use all the decks I have, to be honest. They're all amazing. I love her oracle decks too. I love everything from Carol Heather, and if you followed me, for a while, you know, and you can watch all the videos I posted recently with her decks. You can see what they are. Amazing decks. Which is the most difficult tarot deck to be mastered? I was thinking about it for a while. Like, of course, we can go with all these esoteric decks, right? Because it's a lot of layers to it. But I actually chose the Ellen Lorenzi Prince deck, Minoan Tarot. Well, first of all, it's kind of like Pippish, but you do have to have a knowledge of Minoan culture, which is, old Minoan, ancient Minoan culture, probably conquered by Greeks. Peaceful goddess culture, really focused on creativity, of cooperation, and so on. So as far as we know, a lot of artwork is left from this culture, from Knossos and so on. So to me, to master this deck, the book is as usual quite impressive because it's written by Ellen, but it's not an easy deck to read for me. Like, I never understand anything from what I'm seeing. So I would like to master this one just because I love that culture. I just haven't learned enough. I read, a couple of books, but yeah, this is something that I would like to master, and it's not easy to. What tarot deck is the best overall? You know how much I hate that question, right? But right now, guys, that's what I'm going with. All Carol Hertz's decks right now, overall, I'm binging on them. They satisfy me, okay? They satisfy me with how they are made. They satisfy me with how they shuffle. They satisfy me with color. And because I have many different iterations of Carol's decks, I can, if I feel like more color, I can go for my Inner Truth Tarot. If I go like less color, I can go for Baby Blue or for Snow Starlight. Because of my friend Victoria, whom I don't know how I can ever repay her goodness towards me, I just can do what I love, and that's what I love right now. I love Carol Hertz's decks, and they definitely, like, right now, best overall decks for me. And there we are. I've done it quite quickly, I think. I didn't want it to, stretch over for too long, but I hope you enjoyed it. I'd love to see more video reviews to this. Thanks to 78 Puertas and to Masha and to Honey Lou for doing the VRs. I'm sure there's more, but that's the two I watched. And I speak to you soon, guys. Thank you for watching. Bye.